Imagine this: a nation fresh out of World War I, soldiers hardened by the battlefield, and a new continent-wide crisis threatening the survival of its people. You'd think this story would be about another war against humans, but no. This is the story of Australia's most bizarre conflict. The Great Emu War of 1932. Yes, you heard that right. Australia went to war against birds. After World War I, many Australian veterans were given farmland in Western Australia as part of a government resettlement scheme. But the land was rough, the economy was unstable, and by the early 1930s, the Great Depression made life even harder. As if that wasn't enough, an unlikely enemy showed up: emus. For those unfamiliar, emus are giant, flightless birds native to Australia, standing nearly 2 meters tall, weighing up to 45 kilograms, and capable of running as fast as 50 kilometers per hour. They may look a bit silly at first, but in 1932, tens of thousands of these birds migrated toward farmland in search of food and water. To farmers, this was a catastrophe. Crops were being destroyed on a massive scale. Desperate for help, the farmers turned to the government. And the government responded not with fences or better farming policy, but with soldiers and machine guns. Led by Major G.P.W. Meredith, the Australian military sent out a small unit armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Their mission: eliminate the emus. It was supposed to be quick and decisive. After all, what chance could a bunch of birds possibly have against professional soldiers with automatic weapons? The first encounter came in November 1932. A group of around 50 emus was spotted. The soldiers opened fire. The birds scattered in every direction. Only a handful were hit. The rest ran away, disappearing into the bush. The soldiers quickly realized something astonishing. Emus were not easy targets. They moved fast, zigzagged unpredictably, and could take several bullets before going down. Over the next weeks, the army tried ambushes, traps, and even mounting guns on trucks. But the trucks were too slow on rough terrain, and the birds always outran them. In one infamous battle, the soldiers fired hundreds of rounds into a large group of emus, and barely killed a dozen. The rest simply vanished into the scrublands, almost mocking their human pursuers. Major Meredith later remarked that if the emus had been soldiers, they would have been considered formidable opponents. They moved like guerrilla fighters, breaking into small groups, regrouping, and avoiding capture with astonishing skill. Newspapers at the time had a field day. Headlines mocked the army's failure. Imagine reading in 1932, "Emus outwit military," or "Birds prove tougher than bullets." The public laughed, but the farmers weren't amused. Their crops were still being eaten. After weeks of frustration, the government decided enough was enough. The soldiers were withdrawn, and the war, if you can even call it that, was effectively lost. The emus had won. Estimates suggest that after firing thousands of rounds, only a few hundred birds were killed. The rest? They continued to roam freely, unbothered, as if mocking human pride. In the end, the government switched tactics. Instead of machine guns, they invested in building better fences to protect crops. The lesson was clear. Sometimes brute force doesn't solve the problem. Especially when the problem runs at 50 kilometers an hour and doesn't care about your bullets. The Great Emu War remains one of the strangest episodes in modern history. A time when soldiers who had survived the horrors of World War I found themselves defeated by giant birds. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's 100% true.